guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I felt like doing a little bit more of a laid back kind of video, talking to you guys and sharing some stuff that has been on my mind lately. I hope you're okay with that. I'm not that dressed up. I have greasy hair and that's life right now. I felt like it was important to make a video about all the things that I have learned from having a life-threatening disease. And saying learned meaning positive things that I have been able to take away from this whole experience. And I know that that might sound a little bit weird. I really usually felt pretty crap about myself and about the situation I was stuck in. But I have to say I really try to be able to learn something out of every situation I get thrown into. I really don't think that it makes any sense to just feel bad for yourself constantly if something like this happens to you. My mom actually said something to me last night. We went out to dinner and she was like, you know what? Every night before I go to bed, I'm grateful that I am healthy and nothing has come into my life that, you know, turned everything around health-wise. A lot of people are like, why me? Why did I get this disease? And she said that she feels more like, why not me? You know, it can literally hit anyone, and you should be grateful for every day that you're healthy and alive and feel good and are not scared and are not hungry and all of that. And I feel like that's true. You know, that's very, very true. And I know you can't always have this kind of a mindset, but I feel like it's important to see positive things that come out of negative things as well. That doesn't mean that it didn't suck. It freaking sucked. And I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy, if I had any, which I don't think I do, but if I had any, I wouldn't wish that on them, because it was really bad. That was a really long, rambly intro, but I really hope you guys understand where I'm coming from with this. Also, I have some tea, like in basically every video, because it makes me feel comfortable and I like it, and I feel like it gives the video a little bit of a chill vibe. So the first thing that having Graves' disease really taught me is to love my body. I gained so much weight. I was feeling so horrible. I could barely get up at all. I noticed my body changing a lot. But then, you know, slowly but surely, once I started getting better and once I really understood what had happened to me, and once I had gained a little bit of perspective, I understood that my body is amazing and my body is doing so many things right, and I am grateful that my body is doing this good. I'm actually getting emotional talking about this. I really don't want to cry in this video. You know, this is really something that's very close to my heart when I talk to you guys about stuff like that. And I learned to love things that are maybe from another point of view not really pretty. Let's say my scar. At first I was a little bit hesitant to get the surgery because of the scar, like not only because of the scar, but it was definitely something that was in my mind, because I was like, I don't want like a major visible scar on my neck. But actually, to be honest, I really love my scar, and you can watch my scar video. I did a video all about my scar, how I took care of my scar and how I feel about it now. Every time I see it, I feel a little bit empowered, because I know I did something, I went through something that was hard, I got through it, and this scar really reminds me of it. I feel like I am more body confident now than I ever was before because of this experience that I've gone through. And that kind of ties in to the second point, and that is I really learned to be more appreciative of many things. I am so privileged. I live in Switzerland. I live in a country that is very developed. I live in a rich country. I live in a country that has good health care. I have an amazing family. I have amazing friends. I have an amazing support system around me. I couldn't impact where I wanted to be born. Like, it just happens to you, and I happen to be extremely fortunate, and I learned to be so appreciative of this because things could have gone so much worse. Basically, my point is I am so grateful and I am so privileged, and I know that I am so privileged. The third thing that I learned is really that doctors don't know everything. They're human too. On one hand, realizing that really kind of made me angry because I didn't want it to be true. And on the other hand, it made me more understanding towards them. You have to understand that the thyroid is a very complex organ. It is a little guy that does loads of stuff. It's very hard for him to know everything. Like, it's impossible. Endocrinologists, of course, they know more about the thyroid than the general doctors do, but then those also are usually very focused on diabetics because there are so many more type 2 and type 1 diabetics out there than there are people with Graves' disease. So there are many endocrinologists who specialize in that and not very many who specialize in the thyroid. And then there are loads of people who have low thyroid, like Hashimoto's or things like that, and not as many who have hyperthyroidism, so Graves' disease or something similar that would cause an overproduction of thyroid hormone. So I understand that not every doctor that I was referred to would know everything about my disease because it's impossible. I really had to understand that I had to be my own advocate and do my research and be able to talk to the doctor. You know, at one point I realized that the first endocrinologist I was with, she just didn't get it. That's okay, you know, but I had to make the decision that this wasn't for me. I wanted someone else. I wanted to talk to someone else. I wanted a different person to interact with. And now I'm with someone who I'm very comfortable with. He is a professor. He is very wise. He knows many things. The fourth thing I really learned from having Graves' disease is to be patient, to be able to wait, to listen. That was very hard because all of the doctors told me, you have to wait. This is going to be a long process. You have to wait it out. You have to ride it out. And we can do certain things like adjust your hormones to the right level as quickly as possible, but your body has to do the work and you have to give your body time to do the work. And it was so hard for me to understand because I was feeling so bad and I wanted a quick fix for it. There was no quick fix, you know, and my story compared to other stories is very quick in my recovery. Some people deal with this like 10 years out of their life before someone even understands what they're suffering with. My Graves was caught very early. I got my surgery only half a year after my diagnosis, which is very early, but it still felt like an eternity to me. It was so hard to be patient and to wait. Graves' disease also taught me to get my priorities straight. Ever since I have gotten sick, I have really understood what it means to have something that could kill you. It really changed my perspective on my priorities. Of course, going to uni, doing your work, all of that is important. But to me, I really understood that I had to start getting my priorities straight. My friends and family are always first. And of course, wow, that sounded like America first. That was unintentional. That was unintentional. Okay, joke aside, what I really meant to say was that, you know, my family and my friends are really important, but I am important too, and I have to prioritize my well-being, and I have to take care of myself. I have to do things that are good for me and not feel bad about it because I have to be good with myself first before I can give energy to other people. Self-care is so important, and I really had to understand that. And my second priority is my friends and my family. All of the great jobs in the world won't mean anything, and all of the great grades you get won't mean anything if you don't have a good connection. And I don't mean that, you know, you have to hang out with your friends all the time and not study. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you are with people who are important to you, put your phone away. You know, listen to them, talk to them, and really build a relationship that's strong and that's solid. Number 6 is basically that I am mortal too. Obviously, I always knew that I would die one day, but if you're faced with something that could actually kill you, like not in 40 years time, but in a little bit, it scares you and it really makes you understand that you will one day die too, and that you would want to live a life that you're proud of and that you want to live a life that fulfills you while still, of course, performing your duties that you have. Basically, number 6 is YOLO. You do only live once and you have to live your life to the fullest. You have to try to live your most authentic life. I try and do that. And that is also why I have really started to invest so much more into my YouTube, because I love doing it and it is my passion and it really brings me so much joy, and that really makes me proud because I feel like I've really done something Wow. Number 7 is to tell things as they are. I just really want to portray my true emotions and I really want to connect with people on a deeper level. I'm so done with all the small talk all the time. I'm okay with small talk at like parties or whatever. One thing that I really learned is to tell it as it is. You know, when I met up with someone and they were like, how are you doing? Usually your answer is like, yeah, I'm good. How are you? I wasn't good. I felt like total crap. I was just like, you know what? I'm not doing good. I don't feel good. I feel bad. And then you would have an actual conversation about what's going on in your life rather than being like, everything is fine all the time. You know, that forced positivity that's just everywhere. And sometimes that's good. You know, sometimes you need a little bit of forced positivity to get yourself out of a slump. But what I am talking about is more like hiding the fact that you're not doing good because you're embarrassed. And if something happens that upsets me, I tell people, I'm like, this and this upset me because of this and this. And I feel like once you do that, once you really start talking to people very, very upfront and tell it as it is, you will get that same thing back. And the 8th thing that I learned was that it's okay to fail or to feel like you failed, and it's okay to accept boundaries that you have in your capabilities. When I was feeling so sick, I could not understand how people even get up every day. It was so frustrating. I think I was able to fight through the whole war because I picked my battles. I tried to not get mad at myself for not being able to do certain things. In some things, I did push myself. I did go to certain gatherings and things because it was important to me, and that was also important to do that, but then it was also important to not beat myself up if I wasn't able to do something. And so I feel like in some ways, this has also given me a lot of stamina because I really understand that some things take little constant baby steps. And if you do those constant baby steps, you will get somewhere big. I feel like a lot of people don't understand how bad it was. And where I am now is a big accomplishment for me. Number 9 is that I learned to be more mindful and to listen closely to my body. You know, back in the day, I was like, mindfulness, that's crap. Like, who needs that? Because I had never really faced something in my life that was truly scary or, you know, that would make me feel extremely anxious. I basically had to learn to be very mindful and in the moment and like observe my emotions rather than get completely overthrown by them. And then I did little things, you know, I went on walks, I just basically left the house on little occasions, and it really gave me the confidence to do bigger things. I credit it to my mindfulness, definitely. I had a time where it was very, very hard for me to be positive, and I was just mentally and physically completely drained. I was empty. When these feelings, like these very dark feelings came in, I really tried to not get overwhelmed by it, but rather to observe what's happening and realize that that's not me. Okay, this is my disease. My hormones are totally out of whack. And I feel like that really helped me get out of that quicker. And you know, as I said, I am not healed, but I am doing so much better. I am in a really good place today and I feel really happy and I feel content. So if you've learned some important life lessons recently, why don't you share those with me? So that's it. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, you can do that. I would love it. It always makes me so happy when I see that someone subscribed, and it's free. You know, and if you like what I do, that's a way that you can support me. Also, I'm gonna leave all of my socials down below. It's just Frankly Franca on all of them. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a good week. I will see you next Sunday, 10:30 a.m. GMT+1. Take care, you guys. Bye!